Payton Talbott, all the rage just a couple of, months ago, man. He fights Felipe Lima. They fed him to the dogs. He got Raoni Barcelos, where he was like a minus, 1,000 favorite, something ridiculous. Yeah, you got steamrolled right there. Steamrolled is a little bit harsh. You got wrestled up in that fight right there. He was still swinging with the best of them all 3 rounds, demoralized or not. He was trying to take the man's head off, and you have to respect that. But now you give him the Jungle Boy. You give him Felipe Lima, a man who I have very, very high praise for, a very sick Brazilian, trains with Khamzat Chimaev, got some of that Swedish love over there. But the point is this is not an easy fight right here, and we went from being a dude who was a minus 1,000 favorite to Felipe Lima, minus 195 favorite, plus 150 comeback for Payton Talbott. The fall off comes quick. This is a what have you done for me lately spot. Do you think that this is an exploitation spot for people to make some money here on Payton Talbott?
I do, Derek. As much as I agree with you that I think this is one of the not necessarily harder fights that Payton Talbott's going to have, but stylistically, it's going to bring back a lot of the PTSD of him getting his first loss last time, right? Felipe Lima is going to get this fight to the ground. He is going to try to beat him up and dominate him and control him. Payton Talbott has to have show how he can evolve his game just in a quick, short couple months, right? If it's a rinse, wash, repeat of last time, you can expect a plus 300, plus 400 coming for Payton Talbott next time. But I agree with you. I wouldn't say he got absolutely steamrolled in his last fight. Wasn't necessarily a fraud check. More proof that sometimes anything can happen in this game, and sometimes you can't fall for the hype, right? Everybody was so high on Payton Talbott. You got to realize people can get taken down, drug around. That's what Felipe Lima is going to do again. This one's an exciting one, Derek. I was actually back and forth so many times between these two fighters because on that day or on the night of the fight, whoever's feeling right of the vibe, we talk about all the time, whoever's in that zone, gets into their bag first, is going to be able to take over and dominate this fight. If you get standing, you get Payton Talbott, he's able to piece you up with the 1s and 2s, throw some flying or some spinning shit in there, hit you with kicks at range, not let you get that takedown. When you do shoot one, you eat a knee. Like, there's a lot of things that Payton Talbott is good at. He just can't get taken down and controlled.
And when I bring up the numbers right here, man, impressive on both ends of the spectrum right here. Again, it looks like Lima is a pure grappler, more or less, even though he has some knockout victories right here. Of course, we already know the story about Payton Talbott, very slick, talented striker with a lot of power. A lot of power. One shot, Sean O'Malley-esque power, some would say right here. The thing that I think is a little bit interesting is just the last couple of fights right here. Even though he only had one fight in Octagon, it is the biggest promotion in Europe for mixed martial arts. He was a champion in 2023, and then immediately came on over to the UFC, got a submission victory again. This was a short notice fight, 3rd round submission, huge upset over Muhammad Naimov, and then you decision Miles Johns. AJ, talk to me about how impressive that is, because realistically, Naimov he's found himself to be a really, really good fighter so far in his young run. But Miles Johns, that victory right there to like kind of unanimous decision, the wrestling dude, the dude who is going to nullify your game, to be able to do that goes to show you're not just out grappling like solid, decent, like that guy is good. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, Derek. No, that was the moment I realized that if there is going to be a rinse, wash, repeat of this fight, it's going to be because Felipe Lima took control, took the driver's seat and really started to get to work. We saw what he can do, and if you can go 3 rounds in a crazy pace wrestling match with Miles Johns, Felipe Lima can do that to somebody who doesn't have or who at least was exposed in his lack of ground game going forward. Very worrisome. I think the pressure and the strength, even though Payton Talbott has the size advantage in this one, the strength that Lima packs into his frame can sometimes get people weary of what's going to happen, and then that's when your game really starts to fall apart.
Yeah, man. I mean, a couple of danger zones right here. It's going to be those like body lock spots where Felipe Lima can exploit Talbott on, especially just giving up the back. That's the biggest thing. If he gives up his back, it's going to be some issues right there. And the other side right there is I think the first 2 minutes of every single round, Lima is going to be in incredible danger. Incredible danger if he cannot get to the hips. Because one thing I like about Lima is just the aggressive nature. Some dudes got it. Some dudes are patient. Like Talbot strikes me as the guy that comes out and he's just relaxed, ready to, find his spots, find that timing, get into the flow state. And Lima's like, I'm amped up. I done had 50 monsters. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get to the hips, and I don't care. Whatever is in front of me, I'm steamrolling. which can be good and can be bad because you're so tense, you're so tight, you can get caught really easily that way. Even though we have only seen him lose one time, it has been by submission. Payton Talbot's never been finished either, which you got to give props to not get submitted by Raoni Barcelos in that one. But yeah, I think this is a pretty binary matchup right here. I think that the reach and the height disadvantage for Lima is going to pose some problems on the feet. But I'm going to personally say I don't have too much on this. I think he's going to be able to get to his spots when it comes to a grappling perspective. I don't know if it'll be a rinse, wash, repeat, but I do like Lima here. The question is methodology and totals. So how are you seeing this?
Yeah, Derek, I'm actually taking the opposite. I'm going Payton Talbot. I'm putting some faith in the young gun that his game has evolved going forward. I like him at money line right now. I'm looking at a plus 155 over here on ESPN. But I mean, the TKOs on the gameplay, decisions on the gameplay. One of the things I like most about what Payton Talbot does, especially when he has that forward pressure style of fighter like you're talking about, that 1-2 is one of the stiffest we've seen in the UFC. And they're both on pistons, they're both on a rope, and when some guy's coming forward at you nonstop, nothing better than a 1-2 down the pipe, get his nose bloody a little bit. Next thing you know, he's not seeing you. So I like Payton Talbot. I'm actually, Derek, I'm going with the decision. I think, no, money line, excuse me, money line. But if you have to pick a play, I like the decision. I do think that's the way this fight's going to go, with a little bit of extended back and forth draws between them both. What are you going?
Yeah. I'm going to go Lima here, man. And I'm gonna go nuts, man. Give me a submission victory for Lima right here, man. He said something in the press conference, the MMA Junkie press conference, that to me you can't take too much out of, but it's a little subconscious thing in my opinion when I saw it right here, where he was all like, "Yeah, I'm coming out there and I'm gonna submit him or I'm gonna knock him out or decision him." But for him to say submit first, for that to be the first thing that comes out of your mouth, subconsciously, I think that's I'm gonna get this guy down. I'm gonna choke this man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go submission right here for the Jungle Boy right here. And then, if you're taking the over and the under, it's 2.5. I'm going to take the under, plus 150 for the under right here. But the odds makers do have the over as the favorite, clocked in at minus 192 right there. So, folks, that is your main card breakdown for UFC 317